Hello and welcome to Copman Crawford, the Jersey Guy podcast, also CC and NJ Guy.
What's going on, everyone?
What's
up? So, our last episode, we talked about serial killers, but it was also recorded on
The Day of the Dead. Kenny, can you please help us because we'll screw it up?
Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
That's how you say it in Spanish.
We're going to have an episode, even though it's past that date. We're going to have an episode about that.
Yeah. But we're actually on the date.
We're on. Well, yeah, but when it's released.
I know.
Yeah.
But
you'll hear it
post
a few days later.
Well, so here's the thing. So it's not, there's a few different cultures that celebrate it differently. So it's from December, December.
Wow, November?
Yeah, for real. From October 31st, 31st, all the way until November 2nd. That's when different cultures celebrate. So
we're still in the realm.
We're still right in there, you know, because
they're all in the vicinity.
So like Mexico is November 2nd. Well, Mexico is actually the 31st to November 2nd. Philippines is November 1st and the 2nd. Brazil is November 2nd. Haiti is the 1st and the 2nd. So, you know, Japan has it too. But theirs is in August. Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of different ones that you know.
Okay.
And it's crazy because I guess I didn't even think about it being called that or representing the same thing. You know, I knew about those certain things, but I didn't know that that's what they were celebrating, if that makes sense.
But the one that most people refer to is the
one from Mexico.
Yeah, and the very specific style of makeup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the skeleton, the white.
Skeleton, and it's not like just like black and white. It's a lot more colorful.
Yes.
I think the colors are supposed to be symbolic probably of something.
Right.
If you guys want to look that up. But they use that specific style, and it's to honor the dead. It's not about anything spooky or scary, actually. It's actually a date to like... Right, isn't that what to honor? Like
the people who passed away, pay homage to them and stuff like that.
It's not a bad day, right?
It's not like a spooky or mourning.
No. I guess it could be with some people in certain areas. I mean, even if they're in single, I'm sure there's a dark side to it as well.
Yeah.
You know, Gunny, that's true.
But it's always looked at like a positive type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. It's. Like you said, you know, it's paying homage to the people, you know, who have passed away, your family members, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just, that's pretty much it. And like you said, the colors used on masks and in face paint for the Day of the Dead carry specific symbolic meanings rooted in the tradition. So the vibrant colors, so like yellow and orange are the colors prominently featured in the marigold flowers represent the sun, the light, unity.
Right.
Red is represents the physical existence that sustains the body and the soul. Purple signifies mourning, grief, suffering, and pain.
So they don't have specific.
Yeah. So it's like anything else. You know, this isn't coming from. I think that's one thing too. I want to say first, Dia de los Muertos. You know, Day of the Dead. That's not a movie. It's there. You know, it's part of the religion. It's a good thing. It's just, you know, showing thanks and love to people who have passed. You know, it's not celebrating the devil. It's not, you know, drawing a pentagram on the floor and whatever on the wall and killing chickens and shit like that. That's not what this is about. Not, you know, there's nothing like that. Everybody and anybody can take it and make it something that it's not. You know what I'm saying? But this is something, you know, it's a celebration. It's supposed to, you know, just be happy that, you know, our ancestors have moved on to someplace better than where we are now. You know what I'm saying? That they're happy, that they're relaxed, that they're at peace, you know, heaven, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole idea. That's cool. That's the day that they come back kind of thing. They don't come back, I don't want to say that they come back to life, but, you know, that there's, you know, that they come and they celebrate with us, if you will, you know, that we're celebrating their memory. Like, that's the whole...
I get that.
That's the whole idea. So, yeah.
I have something that I would like to close up on. I think that's kind of similar to that because it turns to be a good thing when it comes to an end of it. So the show that we watched, Erie Hall on Netflix.
Yes.
Okay. So at the end of that series, he winds up confronting it at some point because he gets attacked in the shower and he's pinned down and everything. And he decides, I got to figure out who this guy is. He actually gets to the point where he gets in touch with his father and his father comes up with him. And they go for a run together.
Mm-hmm.
And they find this plaque where everywhere he runs all the time. And this is the first time they find this plaque.
Oh.
And this plaque is to a soldier that was killed at that spot by Indians in the Revolutionary War.
Gotcha.
Right? So he goes and he faces off with him. And he tries to, he doesn't know that yet, though. He finds out later on.
Oh, no
right?
shit.
Yeah, he just knows, all right, this is a soldier. So he doesn't know that until later on. It turns out his mother has a relation on her side to the person who died in the woods. So he's trying to find some peace. So he helped him
find his way.
He finally, he told him he couldn't do this anymore. He faced up to him and everything.
Right.
And got him to wait because the guy wasn't in peace because he was tortured. He was murdered. Right. He was tortured by the Indians. Okay. And he just couldn't move on for whatever reason. He was stuck. And he somehow, the great thing about the thing is that they were connected somehow.
Right.
And that was the weird thing. And he figured it out. He didn't even know it until that.
Insane.
Yeah. Later on, too. He didn't know it right away.
Right.
They found it out later on.
That's crazy. Yeah. See, that's freaking wild.
But it turned out to be a good thing, though.
Yeah. Well,
in a sense.
And
I mean, they were tortured pretty much.
That's the idea, like things like that. It's good stories like that, like I said, that Dia de los Muertos, that's the day, like I said, it's that thing. It's, some people that they're able to help out the spirits that, maybe not, ancestors that got stuck or whatever, they didn't run out the door fast enough or whatever, and they missed the light and shit, Stuff like that happens. But it's a super celebration, bro. Like we said, you got parades, the costumes.
It must be incredible, man.
Well, from us growing up in the city, and I'm sure you may, you've seen it. I've never been able to go. I've always
the
Halloween parade down in the village. In the city.
I've seen it. I
I don't think I've ever done that. I would like to, though. That would be awesome.
Some of the people,
it's a night parade.
It's a night parade, yeah.
People have sometimes these big giant puppets.
Kids had done it a couple of times.
Yes, they did, bro. They did it back in the 70s. Yeah, 70s, and I think
even later on
too.
They
did in the 80s too. I remember
even 90s. I think maybe. Yeah,
I remember them coming in that late.
Let's see.
But no, you might be right.
I'm gonna check it out. Let's check and see.
Funny if Gene Simmons came dressed as in costume.
That's what they did.
That's what they did.
They didn't, and incognito, be like, "Oh, that's a really good Kiss costume."
Oh, that would be funny. I wonder if that's how it went too.
Thank you.
Yeah, because when they did it years ago, like Lou's saying, they came in costume.
All the time they came in costume.
No, but it would be funny.
But then nobody knew.
Just showed up in costume.
Imagine that would be awesome.
Yeah, and then he took his tongue out.
Yeah,
and then people it's really you. That's hilarious, man. That is so freaking funny. Yeah, that would be cool, though. I would love to. But anyways, like I said, it's the celebration. Like I said, depending on where you are, depending on and like we said, I was telling you guys before, the different colors that mean different things, and it's, I think it's one of those things where you don't really pay any mind because now, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm driving on the highway and, there's a few spots on the highway where you see people have their crosses and stuff like that for people who have passed away and stuff.
Accidents.
Same idea. You know what I'm saying? It's literally the same idea. Just not on a holiday. Right. Well, it's on the specific day, but it's not to the same, it's not like a parade, but it's still, it's paying homage to the people that, passed away that are sitting there and whatnot, In the cemetery, you go and you put up you put flowers on the tombstone or candles and, leave a bottle of whiskey or whatever.
Rock.
Yeah, or rock or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's actually more of a European thing.
It is. That's
what, the
that's
rock?
True. I remember we talked about that.
Because when a lot of people that came from Europe, whether Polish, Germany, anywhere really, that was a symbolic thing of it. But if Jews do it a lot as well. They and that goes because their ancestors came from Europe. And they're here, so old traditions and things that people do.
But that's
a good thing too.
But
I always do it.
Rock is seen also because it's like a permanent thing. It's not like a flower that dies. It's supposed to be
yeah.
But wasn't it? It's supposed to be that you visited, that someone visited, or something like.
Yeah, I would say this to let them know that you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really what it was about. At least that's what I was told.
Yeah. Okay.
That's another rock. Here's another thing that we had to do.
How messed up is you think some people take rocks off of them and put them on someone else? Is that messed up?
I wouldn't put past.
I feel like that would be on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I would think that would be effed up, and I'm sure I would hope that people wouldn't, but I have to say that probably someone did.
Yeah.
Because you have assholes.
Yeah.
I can picture Larry David doing that.
Yeah. That would make a good episode.
Yeah, it would.
Actually, he may have thought of it and said, maybe it's too.
I don't know. It's missing.
Yeah.
Really? Are they going to come and check?
Yeah, I forgot.
Right,
and then it would be like, I was missing a rock.
Yeah.
Tombstone Larry, you know?
That is too freaking hilarious, man. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, did you find what you were looking for?
No.
Okay. Like I said, so now I'm going to stand corrected in the part of the welcoming spirits. Families welcome the souls of their... Oh, no, I was right. Okay. Families welcome the souls of their deceased relatives back for a brief reunion on November 1st and 2nd. They build ofrendas, that's offerings. Like, like they'll leave, like I said, have alcohol or like their favorite food for whichever one that, whatever family member you're paying homage to,
Gotcha.
Whichever ones are there. If 5 of your family members that have passed, and, one liked rice, the other liked, whiskey or whatever, you put those offerings out there so they
Makes
can,
sense.
have that.
Oh, so like their favorite foods. And
stuff like that, all the cigars and shit.
I know people have brought like tequila or whatever the drink was and just pour it on the...
Pour it on there.
For me, you could just put a nice
just a little one right there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right? Playing a little bud.
Smoke one on my behalf.
Smoke one on my
behalf. What's that growing around the tombstone? Oh, it's nothing, honey.
So I don't know if you ever did that. Now that's hilarious, bro. Yeah, like grow it right
like
there
ivy.
on the grave. Yeah. Oh, that would be freaking insane. But I wouldn't be cremated, so I'm not sweating on that shit. But no, dude. So, oh shit, I lost what I was gonna say. That's freaking funny as hell. Yeah, I did, bro. I did. Yeah, but anyways, it's like you said, just all those little offerings and things like that.
Right, you were saying how that people bring certain things to the grave to say thanks or remembrance.
So back in the day, I don't know if you guys ever did it, but it was like everybody would tap the bottle before we opened a bottle of 40, of whatever beer and stuff we were drinking. And then they would pour some out for my homies before. Pour a little bit out for those who have passed or no longer here with us or whatever.
Every time I hear someone say that, I think.
Well, we just do it. We would do mostly like a toast
when he's actually poured it on top of the body.
Yeah. Stuck on the 40 in his hand. Yeah. No, you're right. That too.
Hey, to so and so.
Yeah. But you would pour it out for people or whatever.
I know, yeah. I know about that as well. Yeah.
It's the same idea.
Different cultures, man.
Right, but I'm just saying, they're way different culture. Like as far as
and that's what makes it interesting.
And that's why it's wild because So far, anything that I've ever looked up, heard of, in my ancestry.com shit, it's never been anything where it was, like I said, it wasn't anything satanic. I'm talking about like the Day of the Dead. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I want to keep saying that shit because I don't want people
why would you
even, I know because people take that.
They go, oh, that's satanic.
Yeah, that's satanic.
There's a lot of weird,
I got you.
Especially old world cultures because Mexico pulls from old world culture, right? There's a lot of old world religious culture stuff that's just really weird and creepy,
right? That
people think is, if you told them, it'd be like relics, like, oh yeah, there's a decapitated head of a saint in a cathedral,
right?
And like. Well, I went to like a cathedral when I was in Italy, and they just have like a decapitated head of a saint. It's called a relic, and and then another church will have that saint's hand in it or something. They like cut the bodies apart and keep the body parts in. Like that's weird, right? And you would think that
don't they also bury them in or underneath the Vatican?
Well, I know they do have like crypts and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Isn't there like a certain thing for like popes that they have to do?
But not necessarily saints. But saints, they say in like, I think like they do weird shit. Like if you dig up a body and it hasn't decayed, they go, oh, it's a saint.
Oh, really? I thought it was
But actually, a lot of that has to do with where they're buried. Like if there's like a lot of limestone and water filters the lime, it actually preserves the body and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, they found out like
that's ridiculous, man.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. Well, again, but so it's the same idea. Because even look at that, Catholic religion, they're super strict on a lot of their stuff, to, bury and everything else with it and how they do their stuff. So that then, Day of the Dead, some Catholics might look at it a little bit different because of what they believe Day of the Dead is or what it would be. That's why they
assume to
That's why I keep saying it's not a satanic thing.
I didn't think it was.
I don't have my phone because it's recording, but maybe there is actually someone else they dig up the bodies.
Yeah, that's out in
I don't know where is that like Thailand or Burma or on Day of the Dead, they actually dig the bodies.
Why do they do that?
And they
and they walk around with parade with them. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
Remind me not to go there.
No.
It's one like Laos or I don't know, one of the South Pacific.
There's no reason
I think it is. It's Thailand, one of those.
Yo, Lou, that was fucking hilarious, bro.
Vietnam, one of the South Pacific cultures. They dig up the bodies. Are you looking up now or?
Yeah, I'm looking at
it's just it's amazing. Like, here's an interesting thing for me growing up in Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we weren't ultra religious, but we did follow certain things that was supposedly the way. So when someone passes away, you throw dirt on the grave, right? And then when you come home, there's a container of water or something out there for you to wash your hands.
Right.
Don't bring death home with you. Don't bring it in the house.
Yes.
Before you go into the house.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I always thought that was cool as hell.
Because interesting concept because, but think of the time it came from, right? And they just continue to use it because it's part of the
culture,
the fabric and how long it's been with it.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's it's just so many things, places, cultures that you never thought of that do this, you know what I mean? And, think about it. When we sit and we're just talking regular stuff and we're talking about somebody who has passed, that's us paying homage, if you will, telling that funny story or that fucked up story, either way, but telling that story of that person that's passed and, sharing that moment with others. Same idea.
Yeah.
On a larger scale, is what they do on Day of the Dead. It's in Indonesia, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Sulawesi, Indonesia is where they do
Indonesia.
that. Indonesia. Yeah, where they turn around and they...
I'm good.
Yeah.
They dig up the bodies.
No, I'm good.
They bring the bodies.
It's not a festivity or a hobby I would like to get into.
Yep. And it's crazy because
anytime soon.
When they wrap them up, it's like old school mummy stuff. If you wrap them up just right, they're basically preserved.
Do they wrap them up that way when they first die, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
And then every year they dig them up? They dig them up
and they unwrap them and then rewrap them.
And they bring them in, they put them in their favorite chair. Like they'll light cigarettes for them and shit like that.
Haven't you ever seen the old school pictures of people, even in this country, back in the day where they would have the funerals in the house, or they would take pictures with the dead before they buried? Like they would actually sitting with them and taking pictures. The black and white, you know what I'm talking about? You've seen them, man.
Yeah. I hate that shit.
That was a thing too that used to be
morbid.
People used to do the funerals in their homes. That used to be very popular. I think some people, still might do it, but it used to be done back in the day.
I think back
it's in morbid, the day, bro. It is.
But I think that was more because of they all lived like out in the middle of West Bubblefuck. You know what I'm saying? So then it was a mission to get to the church. The same thing, but think about it, bro.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. It was probably just easy to do it. They wouldn't have regulations back then to do that shit.
Right, yeah, it was whatever.
You know what I mean?
In the house, yeah. Because,
this is a time where fire exits in fucking buildings were locked up and chained that you can get out.
They can get in, right, yeah, But it was, it's that people would live on the farms or they just lived up in the mountains or whatever. So they would send the word out, listen, so-and-so passed. We're going to have the viewing or whatever on such a date and come over.
They go to the house.
And they go to the house. Same thing like, the other way around when they were born. People were 2-3 years old before they actually made it down the mountain or, to the hospitals and shit, coming from almost anywhere. My great aunt, rest in peace, she was born in the mountains of Puerto Rico. And she was like, I think 3, 4, 5 years old. By the time they actually brought her down, like they came down and make their trip down into town, and they were actually able to get her a birth certificate. So when we're thinking that she passed away like 105 years old, she was probably like 115. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Because, but again, back in the day, there was no reason to have to come into town as such. Everybody was basically self-sustaining.
Right.
You had your farm, you had your livestock, you had whatever.
Doctor would have to ride out to your house
to go and do
little
that.
House on the prairie shit.
Right, exactly. Instead, I would just turn around and like.
But but still, it's so creepy though. That's fine. All that shit's good. But the fact that you're sitting them in chairs and you're taking pictures of them.
That's a lot of extra.
That's the part I was saying that's so goddamn morbid.
That's a lot of morbid, bro. That shit. But again, we're not trying to knock anybody's religion.
No. It has nothing. That has nothing.
Cultural.
That has nothing to do with religion.
For me, culture, religion. That's what they do.
Yeah, but I don't think there's. I believe. Well, not any religion that.
Don't they smell?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in any religion that we know of. I'm talking about people who lived in this country who came from other countries.
Sorry.
We're not talking about fucking other. I'm talking about here, like old school pictures of people taking picture of who passed away.
Yeah, they still do that. People still do that shit.
I remember
I've seen that happen.
Someone's house before, and they like had pictures of like
people in their casket.
In the casket.
I'm like, why?
And on a frame too, which is even weirder.
The pictures that you already have.
Yeah, why is
of
that?
them
Why
is enough. Is not enough. But you need to have the one with them in the coffin. Why?
Yeah, nope.
That's why for me, I already know that one, I don't want to be I don't believe in an open casket anyway because of how I was brought up.
Right.
See, there are certain things we grab with us that you kind of stick to when it comes to whatever you were brought up with, right? I don't want to see it, and I don't like going to viewings or at all. Usually I don't go in the room. They have to be really close to the family to the point where I'll walk in. I don't kneel at the thing. I don't do any of that.
Well, if I don't know the person that died, I don't.
Yeah, I usually don't go in the room.
I don't have to go up there.
Because a lot of times you're going just to pay respect to the person,
to the people of the family.
Right.
That's what it's about. Yeah. It's about the family now. It's not about him.
I'll walk past the
They're
casket,
gone now.
but I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
How
I
you
don't
do
know
it.
them. It's weird. That's weird. Like, am I going to walk up to the casket and be like, I miss?
But that's the whole 3-day thing about Christ.
But I'll go and I'll say pay my respects to family, say I came to the wake, and whatever.
Yeah,
show your face
nuts.
there.
Yeah,
But hey, like you said earlier, to each his own. You know what I mean? This is what you and this is what you were brought up with. This is what you do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
For me, it was like, good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want.
I like this version better.
When I go, I don't want my body on a view.
No. I already told everybody.
Like,
first of all, I don't even want to. I don't want a funeral home.
Cool,
nothing. I'm just going to be
cremated.
cremated.
What is it for your father? What is it called?
We had a memorial for him.
Yeah, was it called of life? Celebration
of life.
That's the way to.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want to party, bro. So if anything happens,
I told my kids the same thing. I said, my wife as well. I said, I just want people to come and hang
and talk about the good memories,
talk and laugh and cry and do whatever it is. And have my music on.
Put the DJ going.
Right, and have the music on that I liked and all that shit.
Yeah, no, that's
all the music that we all liked, of course, not just mine, but certain shit.
So weird, though. If they're going to play music that I liked, it's all about, like, dark shit. I listen to dark wave. It's like about
pick something happy, bro, all right? Simon and Garfunkel, maybe?
No.
It's like dark fans. I listen to dark.
Put an urn with your ashes. Like you put the urn over there, and then in the middle of the music.
I mean, one of the bands I listen to, the name is She Passed Away.
You see, well, you're not a she, so
he passed away.
He passed away. No, but you turn around and you have your urn there playing the music, and all of a sudden somebody hit tink, tink, tink.
Here's something interesting, right?
Bro, don't give me any ideas.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hold on, Lou. No. So go ahead.
No, if they were to have my casket, you got to get a Bluetooth speaker of my own voice going, let me out.
They already had that.
That's what I'm going to say.
It was an Irish wedding, I believe.
They were putting the guy in the ground.
And he had a thing. He did it on purpose.
The guy
absolutely.
He was getting put down into the thing. Like, hey, wait, I'm not ready yet. No, wait. And people just started laughing while they're standing over the grave.
He did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose. He had one of his friends,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. It's hilarious. I'm sorry, Lou. Go ahead. You were going to say
I totally lost
sorry. The other one, too, was somebody else was telling me. They said that they wanted to have a bunch of like Men in Black kind of thing, like big, like just not Italian mafia, just like big gangster looking dudes walking in and like, sorry, thanks, boss. You were a great boss. All right, have a good one, and then walk out, make it look like.
So I'm talking about how cultures are, right? So
at my funeral,
culturally, they say if you have a near-death experience, more times out of 10 is whatever you grew up with, what church, if you went to church and you believe in Christ or whatever it was, is the version of what or similar to that lane as far as how your near-death experience could be. Because I read a thing where like atheists just have a light. Right. You still see a light, you just go, they don't have anything that they believe in.
Right.
So, but their near-death experience is just a light. Where people Roman Catholic or Judaism or whatever it is, Hindu, right? They experience that. So it's funny how they follow that from life to death, meaning when they go to church, they see it, they bury people that way, and then they wind up having that most likely having that kind of experience when they pass away.
Right.
Which is interesting as well. And I always think, what kind of mind would I have?
Yeah.
Well, not that I want to know anytime soon.
But then I think it would probably be...
I think it'd be more like towards the atheist side or somewhere in the middle.
Well, it would be one of those things of what it is that you feel for that last minute. Because, so it's your last thoughts is what it is that you probably
I don't think it's... No, I think it's... The way they referenced it was about how you were brought up. You were brought up a certain way. 9 times out of 10, you would lean that way. That's what you believed. And that was the after death, you saw Christ, you went to some, however that is usually in that lane. So if you had a religion you were Judaism, you kind of went a different direction. But you still had that an atheist didn't really have anything except for light, like a ball of light. They still went somewhere, but they went where their mindset or how they lived life.
Yeah.
There wasn't bad or wrong or right. It's just everybody goes there regardless.
Yeah.
It's just their version of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's version is different.
Yeah.
And it probably there's other stuff too, I would assume. Like
they say you see family members,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, then of course you're with whoever you are. And also you get the viewing where you view your life and you're the person who
you're the
judges
judge.
it.
Ooh.
Like you have to feel, they see you feel whatever the view is. You feel everything that happened in your life over again.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of messed up? My one of my friends growing up, his father was dying of cancer or whatever, and he said that his he told me like it was 2 days before his dad died that like he was looking out the window from his kitchen and saw his dead father and brother sitting on top of the shed or the garage roof.
Whoa.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then 2 days later he died. From that, from
so dad said he saw that.
Yeah.
Wow.
The dad who died.
Yeah.
Said he like 2 days before he died. He said he saw his.
Oh no
so
way.
That's kind of
crazy,
bro. That's when you know it's coming, bro.
Well, they say people who are in hospice and things like that.
That's kind of
they start
very
to
ominous,
Yeah, man.
they have people who see certain people before they go. Right? Or they have something they need to get done before they pass away, before they can go. They're dying. They're going to die. But they're kind of the ones who are holding on because they got something they need to take care of.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And that happens too. That's also when, that could happen. And then once you do, whether it's that person or whatever it is, and then when it's done, usually you're gone.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
He was, so-and-so. He saw so-and-so and whatever.
Right.
Or it was something else that they had to take care of or had something to do with a brother or something. Who knows? There's a book about it that's really good. So that I read, it had interesting stories like that. It's like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that, I hear what you're saying. I agree with you, what you said before about, people going and what their religion is or, what they believe. But I'm almost wondering if at that last moment that because your fear of what the afterlife would be, if that's what you would turn around and that was like your last thought. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say, so for me, because I'm that guy. So, what my
you're going to die a violent death is what you're saying.
Oh, I could. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm going to die a violent death, but just what I'm going to see, like who it is I'm going to see on the other side. Like if it's going to be that family member, is it going to be that I'm going to see my life flashing before my eyes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what
the common thread is what they say. You kind of see a viewing of your life from the time, from the beginning to end. And you feel everything that's happening that you already had done, but it's like it's like you're in a different place, a different time. The way it's described, it's like, it doesn't take long. It happens.
Yep.
And then you're out. You go wherever. There's no, like, for instance, people who commit suicide, like we were talking earlier, right? Eventually they see the light and they come out of it, but in the beginning, sometimes it's dark. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they see the light right away.
Yep. Okay.
To give them hope or whatever. Every version's different. Right. Again, it depends on that person. What's going on or what happened in their life to the point that they needed to do that.
Right.
Some bounce back from it and take positive from it. Hopefully, if it's a positive experience, they take that and they're advocates for suicide. And not to have suicide, but to prevent suicide, I should say. A lot of people have positive. It's just funny how that certain things could happen. I want to. We always hear the positive one about when someone passes away. Oh, they seen this. They went through a tunnel. They saw their uncle, but it wasn't their time. They go through certain things, boom, and they're back.
Right,
kind of thing.
Right.
Well, what about those people who created their death? Did it? What did they experience?
Yeah.
What was the outcome of that? Was it someplace? Did they go somewhere that was not? Good. Some people said they did. They went to a place that was like super dark and lonely and nothing. But got out of it, fortunately.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's always two sides. We always kind of focus on the one. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's positive because you want to hear that one better, but it's curious to know about, is there anyone who has had negative experiences?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. That's what's so interesting about death and, on the Day of the Dead, we're talking about that. So.
It's funny. It's become like a life after death episode a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. Well, because it basically is.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because, they said Dia de los Muertos is just, that's what I'm saying. It's that celebration of them, and we always hope that the people, when
without
we
digging them up.
Without digging them up. Yep, exactly. Without digging them up, that it's that we're hoping that they went to the that they were at peace when they did pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Of course.
And
right.
It's just crazy. It's wild because like right now we could sit and we talk about we could sit and talk about it. Dia de los Muertos. We talk about the people that have passed. We talk about seeing the light or whatever you're seeing at the end. At
whatever
the end
it
of
is,
your days and whatever. And it's still, what is there a fear at that moment? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you?
Oh, yeah. Are you scared?
Yeah. Are you scared? Or is it like the voice is already talking to you that you're just like, and you're calm just before you actually pass?
You hope so, right?
You know what I'm saying?
We don't know. That's the thing that's so mysterious because we don't know how we're going to pass away.
Mm-hmm.
Of what? Or is it going to be sudden? Is it an accident?
Mm-hmm.
God forbid. I'm not putting any bad vibes out there. I'm saying that's the mysterious part about life, right? Because we'll be as careful as we possibly can and take care of ourselves the best as we can. But at some point, we are going to die, regardless.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's just from what we understand, only one step, which goes Day of the Dead. So now we'll be on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now think about it. Now you go, you pass. Now you're having a good time. And then
you would hope
Day of the Dead comes and not they'll, Kenny, come
Hey,
back.
Can you hang out for a little bit?
I'm good. No, come on for one day. Come and hang out.
Come hang out for the night. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Because it's usually at night, right? Not the whole day. Is it the whole day?
No, there's a few of them that are a couple of days. Like
are they really?
Days.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah, I guess the whole day. Because Halloween's the whole day, too.
Right.
So
like, come back, hang out with us, keep talking to them like, you know what I mean? I got to go back and hang out over here. I left the ship, I'm out of here.
Right.
Over there having a good old time.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm driving a Cadillac.
I'll make a quick thing and then I'm out.
Yeah. That's funny. But, I mean, I wish that there was, I don't know if I want to say I wish, but it would be cool to know if the people, on Day of the Dead, on these celebratory, quote unquote, holidays, if they understand that, people, still talk about them, people still miss them, I'm saying, those who celebrate like that, you hoping that they know.
Hoped.
Yeah. Like, oh, yes, I was thinking about you, oh, I miss you. We had these laughs or whatever.
Right, but what about, it's kind of the same, like, you ever think about somebody or something or whatever, you'll either, and somebody will say, oh, I saw so-and-so the other day, but I was just fucking thinking of that.
Yeah.
Man, blah, blah, blah. So I think in some way it's possible that it makes it to the other side.
Yeah. Because,
some way or the other.
It's like when you think, like you said, even when you're thinking about somebody and they'll call. How many times, the three of us are sitting together, bullshit on the phone or whatever, and it's like one of us will say something. It's like, yo, I was just thinking that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same idea. To me, it's the same idea.
I think there's something going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a connection.
There's definitely a connection. It's the Force, my friend.
Yes.
The Force is real.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
But
the Force is real.
Yeah. I think so.
I start to think
they say if you tap into something,
we are connected somehow, and I don't know how. You know, and they say that human consciousness, they don't know where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know where in the brain. Like they can't find how the brain there's theories that
they're figuring it out, like little by little.
Our thoughts, we think they're in our head, but maybe they're remote.
They're in the cloud.
They're in the cloud,
right?
They're in the human cloud.
They say the connection that we're all, how we're
that's
connected
what I
to.
believe. I actually used to be atheist. Remember we were talking about in the first season we were doing this, and now I have more of like a metaphysical kind of, I believe. Not simulation theory as a computer like the Matrix,
right?
But I believe that like all
Universe.
religions are just interpreting the same thing.
That's how I feel.
Yes.
It's just my interpretation of this. It doesn't mean I believe they're all right.
Yes.
Okay, and that it's a lot of it's just based on the culture where the religion was founded,
right, and the interpretation.
And then there's some people who are mystics and prophets,
right,
in different cultures, and that's just what the. But like they're all saying the same thing.
Yep.
And
they're talking about the same damn God.
And like,
and still fight about which one is.
Yeah, it's the same one.
It's bullshit.
Same fucking one.
Right, it's the same one, regardless. It's your version, your story, whatever.
And I don't follow any.
It's spiritual in a sense because, and you don't have to be religious.
Right.
That's what people screw that up, to be spiritual, because you can be
our souls. We are the soul, and these are just
our capsule.
What is it like? What's that movie?
Avatar.
No, we're avatars.
Right.
We're in it for
Cocoon.
a little bit, and then we go to another avatar.
Cocoon?
You've seen Cocoon, right?
I did, but I just remember it was in the 80s, a long time ago.
Yeah, so at the end of the
those
movie,
white things.
yeah, the white little, alien spiritual looking things, yeah. So I mean, and you're right, and
your spirit is only goes to the next term. You're done with this body, and then you go, all right, now you move on to the next.
Don't forget, you guys are the ones that told me
religion, right? Go ahead.
That it was like, it's like some people, they can either go to the light to be reincarnated, or they like look over their shoulder,
turn around,
and
they'll go home.
Yeah,
meaning they came. It's okay if you want to go there, right? But you might be reincarnated and sent back.
That's
where if you go turn around and look behind you, you'll see where you came from, and you'll go to that spot. Right. That's one of the theories that people have out there.
That's what you guys told me.
But think about it. That's
turn
off
around
the wall, right?
Take me home. Turn around to the light, so the light's behind you. And say,
yeah. Exactly.
But if you go to light, you're going to get recycled.
Right. Yeah. That's one person, right? And then sent back again.
That's funny. Recycled. Right. Yeah. All
right. You're going back again.
Yeah.
But And then if that's the case, how many times were you sent back? Do you even know? Is this the first time you ever had your life?
Or is this like your 12,000th time?
Who knows?
Well, it's one of those things too, bro. Think about it. Think of how many times that you've had, and like we've had the
deja vu.
People who have
deja
vu.
You've had the time. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead.
That you have those thoughts of like, you in a cowboy outfit, or you just being in a different country or whatever.
Right.
You've even said that.
Yeah, but there's people who believe though that you can and I believe the same theory too, that like you can choose to you can go away for you can any point in time you could be like, I'm going to go back,
and
then you could hang out for a little while,
or you'll be told that
fifth dimension. Then it's like it's been like
they'll be like,
I don't know how long. Time doesn't exist, so I don't.
Exactly.
I'm done. All right, let's go back.
Yeah, I'm tired of this card.
So it could be the person that you run into or that you see on the other side. They'll say to you, you're not supposed to be here.
The belief also
you need to go back.
Is that time doesn't exist and that you can go at any point in time, go back.
Ooh.
Like the universe is and time is like one static thing. And
never
you
know.
Just go and you're just playing point A to B at this point in time at this place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So that's one of the theories. So like.
Right.
It's like I come back and I think I'm gonna go into a dystopian future, or maybe I'll go to the Renaissance or the ancient Rome.
Yeah.
They're saying the universe is like a web. They're figuring out that there's more to it that we understand. Where there's so many different connections in so many different ways.
You know who we should do an episode on? We should do an episode on Bashar.
On who? Bashar.
There's a guy he supposedly channels like a alien, and he always comes up with these things like, you're all living at the same like one of the theories is like that you're all, that like you do live several lives, but it's not reincarnation. You're living them all at the same time.
Stop.
In different periods of time.
So it's a multiverse.
Yeah, it's like a multiverse. Like you go like.
But they say there is one though.
Like
now.
You're
They're saying that you have an opposite
and you're choosing to like live like 20 lives at the same time at different points in time.
Wow.
And then you sync them back up when you.
What? See, I've never heard.
See, that's a different. Now that's another version.
Yeah, I never heard.
So many beliefs.
But I heard that there is multiverses where we do have another copy of yourself in a different timeline, or the same timeline but in a different universe. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. It could be a little bit different than what you are now. Mm-hmm. Maybe more negative as far as what
infinite
or positive.
There's infinite.
It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like Neo, how many times did they have to make Neo? How many times did Neo have to come back before you actually figured it out?
Well, just for him alone, he was
there's
3
a lot
times.
of religious references in
No, but when he went in front of the architect, there was a lot more than that.
No, was it, or was it that it was?
He kept showing it. This one, there was many different versions. And every TV that was back there
had a different version
of what
and I
happened.
think that was the architect because the way the architect thinks is he thinks in a multiverse.
Right.
His mind is, what? His mind is like a quantum processor. He comes up with a million different things at the same time.
Different solutions.
What? The architect is a quantum processor.
Oh.
Right.
Because the quantum processor
and he
comes up with a million different versions and comes up with the best answer.
Right. And Neo is an anomaly.
Yeah.
Well,
which is random. It's not supposed to happen, but it does. And for some reason, he's able to do the opposite of what the architect has said the laws by the architect should be happening. And he's like, no, I don't. He goes by his own rules. But eventually it took him time to get there.
That makes sense.
Right?
That makes sense.
So,
I can dig it.
But it's cool stuff,
I
man.
can dig it.
I dig,
I knew that you
but there's so many. I just think that the one thing I do feel confident about is that there is something else, but it's bigger than what we can fathom.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which explains why when people do have them and they come back most of the time, hopefully good, they have their life changes for the positive.
Yeah.
You know, they take a different look at it and go, oh, wow. That just, because they had a profound experience, spiritual experience, and then, not religious, spiritual.
Right.
Which is totally opposite.
Right.
You can be both, but, one does not cancel out the other. So I think that's interesting for sure, man. Just to, you come back and then,
there.
Your life was, whether you had an accident or something and they came back, or you saw yourself, the stories of people driving and they'll be in the ambulance and they're right above it, going to the hospital or whatever. It's just, so with me, I believe there is definitely something beyond this. And, when we get there,
I'm with you.
If it's me first, I'll be waiting for you to hanging out and then I'll greet you guys.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely.
And hopefully where we're going, we can smoke weed.
I'll be there at that party. Yeah.
Anything's allowed.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll be better than weed.
Probably way better.
Yeah.
You won't even need it.
Yeah.
You won't even
just
need
be
it.
like, I'll just upload you the sativa.
Yes, exactly.
Right. You won't
show.
even need it because you'll be in a place where it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Euphoria.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll be in a totally peaceful realm.
That is great.
Oh,
everything's, and you're happy and you're comfy and you're relaxing.
In the zone.
Arguing. In the
zone. In the zone.
Is the afterlife like Minecraft? You could just build whatever you just imagine.
Whatever you want, bro. You go see whoever you want when you're ready to think of them. Imagine you're out there, right? You think of somebody while you're there. They pop up, however it works. And boom, you're right there. You're, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
So-and-so?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you,
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, what? They hear it now, too. I mean, think about it. Because I'm that guy, rock and roll. Heaven must have one hell of a rock and roll.
Well, for Ace Frehley, just recently.
Yeah.
So now here's something interesting. Before the show ends, here's a concept that I thought about. So now, I was adopted. Right? I was brought up Jewish. Didn't follow it. I wound up going my own way and believing things differently and thinking the universe is, the connections that way and everything. And then I always also think, how when people say someone's always greeted them?
Right.
Or they meet somebody. Well, I had my mom and dad.
Right.
Who were my mom and dad from growing up, adoption from the day I was born, 2 days old.
Yeah.
Right?
It's your parents.
But then I had my other parents. Who's to say that somebody from that side, who I've never met, came and greeted me? And the weird thing would be is that you would know who it was.
You would feel kind of comfortable.
Whatever it was, because how crazy is that? Because I'm thinking that in my head. I'm like, how's that going to work? Would that happen?
Yeah.
You never met this person, never spoke to him, nothing.
Yeah.
And then they show up.
For that calmness to be like.
And you're like, oh, you're so-and-so.
Yeah. That would be sick.
That's how my mind works.
No. That's a good one. That was a good mind work right there, bro. Fuck around. That was some good shit right there.
Right?
Well, shit, we'll end on that good groovy
Absolutely.
note. Thank you for hanging out with us today on the Dia de los Muertos. Hope everybody celebrated it because everybody that does that, they celebrated, had a great day and whatnot. And,
absolutely.
Everything was cool, peace, and copacetic. And thank you for joining us. Guys, have a good one. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And celebrate.